Hello, Jamie Allen Bishop with Soul Heart Entertainment here, coming to you live from Hawaii. Can you believe it? Isn't it completely appropriate that we're talking about prosperity and abundance? And I mean, this is the land of abundance, quite literally. If you've ever seen the Jurassic Park movies, they are filled to the brim with life forms that look almost alien, and those life forms are huge and just glorious. And I kid you not when I say that all of those life forms exist here in Hawaii. It's so cool. It's so amazing. I feel completely honored and blessed to be here. And thank you to so many people, some of whom I can't even mention, but thank you. You know who you are, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's get started talking a little bit about prosperity and abundance and how that shows up in our toes. I'm going to be using my good friend Sunny Dawn Johnston's brand new cards, the multi-dimensional Oracle deck today, because our friend Natasha is unable to join us, or we're not 100% certain if she's able to join us. If she is, we'll bring her on, obviously, but just in case she can't, we'll pull cards anyway. We'll pull our own cards because we have lots of cards. But to talk a little bit about, and please comment to let me know that you're here so that I can acknowledge you, and thank you so much for being here. We'll start, as always, with a little bit of the background of toe reading, where we talk about what shows up in our toes and how it shows up. Oh, hi, hon. Thanks for being here. Left foot is our yin self, or our internal self. Right foot is our yang self, or our gang self, which is outside of ourselves, relationships with other people. The ether toe is the big picture, how that shows up. Hi, Sue. Oh, thank you for being here. So glad you're here. Air toe is all about communication and creativity and how that shows up, kind of our analytical behavior. Hi, Robert. Oh, so glad you're here. Fire toe is all about the action or temperament that we house inside of us and outside of us. Water toe, which I know you can't really see because it's yellow, but the water toe is all about how we go with the flow. It's how our relationships show up. Oh, Cheryl, yay, you're here. Thank you for being here. And finally, our earth toe. That's the only toe that's different from foot to foot. On our internal self side, it's about our faith and trust. On our external self side, it's about our prosperity and abundance. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I just want to take just a minute and show you this amazing background and sky. You know, when it's focused on me, you can't see all of that amazing gorgeousness. It's just stunning, you guys. I'm so honored to be here and so grateful you're here with me today. Yay! Ah, such a view. This is our back patio. I mean, paradise, right? All right, I'm gonna refocus it on me so that you guys can see what I'm showing you. Hopefully it will refocus on me. Hello. All right, anyway, yeah, I know, isn't it beautiful? It's just stunning. So let's talk a little bit about our prosperity and abundance toes. That is our right baby toe and how that shows up. I'm gonna pull up an image on my handy dandy notebook, otherwise known as an iPad these days, right? Hold on if I can. Here we go. All right. So if you can see this, of course it's going to be a little challenging. Okay, so this is an advertisement I put together a very long time ago. Thought I was in Hawaii. I am in Hawaii. Isn't it amazing? I mean, it's our back patio in the home unit that we're staying in Hawaii, if that wasn't clear. But yes, it is. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. All right, so what in the world is toe reading or a toe reader, you ask? This is an advertisement. I'm going to read it to you really quick. A toe reader is someone who sees the subconscious thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and they show up in the toes. And then, so why is that important? To get a real understanding of how to get unstuck with thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are showing up in your world and over, especially if they're showing up over and over. The best place to start is where we are subconsciously, right? So, oh, yay, Jules is here. So exciting. Thank you so much for being here. Yay. All right. Yes, manifested a rain out for soccer to enjoy the beautiful ambiance of the Hawaiian background. So, yay, Jules. That's so exciting. All right, so in the way that toe reading shows up, I just really like the way that these toes show up, in the sense that prosperity and abundance is all about showing up straight, okay? So if we look at the right toe, the right baby toe here, whoops, there it is, the right baby toe. First of all, the toes are painted red. Now, I know you guys know that the significance of red has to do with our root chakra and how grounded we are in the world around us. And when we're talking about the earth toe, it's really, really important that we remain grounded. And so the fact that those toes are painted red definitely shows me that that is a focus for the person whose toes whose toes I'm using today, right? And the prosperity and abundance toe is just coming straight off of that foot. It's almost the same length as all the other toes. Like of course we want to take a gentle slope. We just don't want to take a very deep dive, right? When the toes show up with that deep dive where it's a very different length than all the other toes that are showing up there. That's when we have challenges about falling short of our plans or falling short of our destined path here on earth. So with the right toe being the prosperity and abundance toe, and the left baby toe being the faith and trust toe, you can tell that there's a little tiny bit more of a challenge with the faith and trust toe, because it has that little gentle curve to it. And so that curve tells us that maybe they're holding on a little bit tightly to the idea of how faith and trust shows up in their life. But as far as their prosperity and abundance, they're really trying to stay rooted in that root chakra, that grounded, well grounded in life. And they're coming across straightforward, which means what you see is what you get with this person. When you see toes that are not straightforward, or especially when it comes to the baby toes, which are, I think, in my experience, now I've been doing toe reading for over 15 years, and in that 15 years, the biggest challenge toes are the baby toes that I have witnessed. So the baby toes have a tendency to be the things that we're here to learn the most about and the most dynamic things from. So our faith and trust and our prosperity and abundance. So if your baby toes are not coming out straight forward off of your feet, where the toenails are straight up to the heavens, where they're kind of hiding or crouched underneath that relationship toe, or they're maybe a little bit fluffier is what I say. So the padding around the toe is maybe a little bit thicker, or I'm trying to describe it without describing it weird, where the pad, it almost is like the Santa sack, right? That we're carrying the big sack. So it's kind of a sack of the stuff that we carry with us. And of course, all that stuff is the thoughts, feelings, and emotions and how they're showing up for us in life. So when it comes to the earth toe, it's really, really important to stay grounded. And so if you're not feeling like there's a lot of faith and trust in your life, or you're not feeling like there's a lot of prosperity and abundance in your life, it's extremely important to get out into nature and literally ground yourself. So just being one with nature, sticking your feet into the grass, going for a walk on the beach, If you don't have either of those things available to you, growing a house plant and interacting with it. So, you know, it's interesting. My daughter came to me, I guess it was a couple days ago when we first got here, and showed me something that was really kind of cool. It was two little prongs, little pinchy prongs that attach to, or this person was attaching them to different vegetation or different plant life. And what was coming out of the plants was vibrational noises that ended up sounding very much like music. And depending on the plant, different noises were coming off of it. So it just kind of went to prove the idea that everything that is life has a vibration to it, has a frequency. There's a reason why you're more attracted to one plant than another plant. It's probably because it's a vibrational match for either where you are or where you want to be. So go ahead and just interact with those plants. Literally talking to them changes their vibration. Literally touching them, you know, helps to kind of ease the frequency between the two of you. Anyway, it was just fascinating and super exciting for me to see that there was somebody out there doing a bunch of research on the sounds of plants. So when it comes to these toes that I was talking about, kind of the biggest thing that I would suggest is if you're having trouble feeling prosperous, feeling abundant, recognizing the things that are showing up in your life that prove that to you. If you're having trouble with it, go ahead and paint that baby toe red. Even if you don't normally paint your toes, go ahead and paint that baby toe red, because if you look at that, if you look at the chart, you can see that on one side of the toe is red, on the other side of the toe is orange. And that's on both of the baby toes. So on the outside is red, the root chakra. On the inside of the baby toe is the sacral chakra, okay? So if you're not feeling prosperous and abundant, or you're not feeling faith and trust, it will probably show up in your tummy. It will probably show up as stomach challenges, right? Where we're having trouble digesting, where we're maybe not feeling quite as well, where, you know, gosh, I can even say, when I come across somebody that just kind of doesn't feel like a good match or a good person even in general, I get that instant feeling in my tummy of queasiness or unease, or and inevitably the way that I react to that is like, okay, deep breath, and then is this a real feeling, or is this pushing up against resistance within me of where that person is coming from, right? There, you know, if everything outside of us is a reflection of what we carry inside of us, and how it shows up in our life is a reflection of who we are internally, then I definitely want to examine that. Because if somebody makes me feel uneasy, they're either pushing up against my comfort zone, which is maybe a good thing. If I want to, you know, if I want to own that yacht someday, if I want to own that yacht, I own that yacht. See, I'm changing my words as we speak. I own that yacht. And there's definitely resistance there, right? Because I'm still falling back to the words that come far more naturally to me around that idea, right? So people that I interact with that maybe already own the yacht, or maybe, you know, have certain amount of abundance in their life that is beyond what I have obtained, might feel uncomfortable to me, right? That might feel icky is the word that keeps coming to my mind. So in order to get over that, I have to examine what's in myself, what's coming up for me, how it's showing up, and why it's showing up in order to get past it. Okay, so we're gonna pull a quick little tarot card, or an oracle card, from Sunny Dawn Johnston's multi-dimensional oracle deck. It's a brand new deck. By the way, the artwork is by Lucinda Ray. She's amazing. She has some incredible artwork. I can't wait to show you. All right, so I'm gonna just pray for a second over these. We're gonna have it pull up a card for what resistance we need to overcome to be as open and willing to receive prosperity and abundance in our lives, okay? So which card is gonna show up for us? The yin yang. The duality, harmony, and extremes. Or, see that? Isn't that a gorgeous card? Wow. Yeah, Sunny Dawn Johnson is pretty amazing. Okay, so anytime that I see the yin yang, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Okay, so as you guys can see, yin yang exists in toe reading. Yin yang. So where is there a lack of balance? Where is there a lack of understanding? Where is there a lack of comfort and peace? Peace is the word that I'm after this year. Where is peace, and how is peace showing up in my life? And I'm noticing it more and more and more, and it's so beautiful. It's so gracious. It's so exciting to see how it manifests, right? And so I definitely think this is a perfect, of course it is, a perfect card for today, and especially a perfect card for manifestation and abundance and prosperity and how that shows up in our lives. Isn't that great? I mean, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm never surprised by the cards that show up, because they're all supposed to show up. They're all perfect. They're all exactly as they should be. So yin yang to me means balance. It means harmony. It means peace. Where can I recognize more of that in my daily life? And okay, I pulled another card. I'm laughing because you guys are gonna laugh too. All right, guess who it is? Master Spirit Guides. Okay, so if you ever have question, if you ever doubt, if you're ever in discourse or dis-ease, hyphenated, not at ease with prosperity and abundance, faith and trust, really anything that shows up in toe reading, because this is pretty much life as it shows up on our toes, right? So if there's ever anything that's not serving you well or that doesn't feel comfortable, this is definitely what we need to do, all of us, myself definitely included. Master Spirit Guide. If we don't ask, they can't help us. If we don't ask, they can't. They're not allowed to step in. That's where our free will comes in. So we have to ask. We have to ask for their guidance. We have to ask for their support. We have to know that they're here to help us and support us. Life purpose, direction, and dedication. I know you guys know that that is like my ultimate passion in what I do and how I do it, to help people truly own who they are at the core value of how they're showing up on the planet, and serve as to the best of our abilities. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if every single light worker was in the top 5% of the earners? How completely and utterly different this world would be. How completely different would it be if we owned our magic and we showed up? Right? I have always heard we have to ask and never knew why, so thank you for sharing. It's because of our free will. Absolutely. It is because of our free will. That's completely true. Our free will helps us, but it also can hinder us in that we use it as almost like a stubbornness. You know, I'm going to do it my way. Like I think of, you know, kind of the little kid in us kind of stomping my, you know, I can say it from my perspective because I know what shows up for me. When I get in my stubborn mode and in my free will mode, I feel like a little kid throwing a temper tantrum. And it's so silly because I know That it's just if I quiet my mind and I ask for Spirit to guide my decision making or help me follow my intuition, because the intuition's there. I already know the intuition. I know what it's telling me to do, but do I act on it? Not always, which is just like, you know, it's asinine. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's so dumb. It's so unintelligent to not follow our intuition. But our society teaches us that our intuition is not accurate. And so it's been ingrained in our brain to not follow our intuition. And so I'm kind of hoping anyway that I'm the example of reprogramming our brains from what we were raised to believe into this piece of how do I trust that inner knowing, that highest purpose path, that highest self, that Christ-like self. That's why the Bible is so powerful. It's such a powerful, and it's been so powerful for so many decades, because it really truly is this idea that Christ-like self within us already knows the right path to achieve everything, to achieve 100% of true and utter happiness and glory and peace. And let's see, Robert, is this asking a higher power, the universe, divine creator? Exactly. Okay, so I went there without even having read your question. So yes, absolutely, it is. But it can also be, let's just say that you've had some bad experiences with the church or some sort of challenging feelings of acceptance or whatever. It can be whatever you want it to be, in the sense that you can call it whatever, you know, we can call it whatever. The Hawaiians call it something very, very different than what the Native Americans call it, than what the Christians call it, right? But to me, as we are all connected, as we are all one, as we are all from the same body of birth, I mean, according to the Bible, that's literal. We are all from the same two people over the course of thousands and thousands of years. We have become individualized, but we are all connected, both by DNA and by energetic spirit. And so if we go to that source within us of the highest purpose calling, of the highest power, it doesn't matter what we call it. It's all the same. It's all connected. We're all vibrationally connected. And so I go back to the, you know, the tree example, if we sat and just listened to our own inner vibration, our own inner tune, if we tuned ourselves vibrationally to what we're able to achieve, it would literally be paradise on earth 24/7, no matter where we went, because we would be our vibrational highest purpose on earth. And if we are, we invite others to follow that and to be that. And to me, that's heaven on earth. That is heaven on earth. So yeah. So I don't know, I suppose I'll get off of my soapbox, though I absolutely love talking about this. I hope you guys know. If you have any questions about prosperity and abundance, yes. Okay, so Ho'oponopono is a prayer of, it's a Hawaiian kind of mantra, if you will, of, it's very similar to the idea of as above, so below, as within, so without. Okay, so it's that would be the Christian version, right? But Ho'oponopono says, thank you. No, what is it? It is I love you. I'm sorry. I forgive you, and thank you. Starts with love. Everything starts with love. Everything. Even the worst things that have happened to us start with love. That's the piece. I'm sorry. Yes, okay. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. You're right. You're right. But I mean, truly, it does all start with love. It doesn't matter if it's the worst possible thing in the whole wide world. It all starts with love, because we needed to learn whatever the lesson was within that circumstance, right? Love, for sure. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I thank you. And I love you. Whew. I mean, I've been doing that a lot lately, actually. I've been doing those prayers. Read that every day. It's such a powerful mantra, isn't it? And my goodness, I don't know about you guys, but it totally changes the way that I approach various and assorted things in life. You know, when I'm lacking sleep, I get cranky as all get out. My family will be the first to tell you. I like my sleep. I need my sleep. And when I don't get enough sleep, I am like, you know, I bark and bite, and thank goodness my growl is bigger than my actual bite. But truly, I get really, really cranky. And so this mantra, the Ho'oponopono mantra, is definitely ingrained in how I show up, and making sure that I stay in a fairly grounded scenario even with lack of sleep. That's also where I can call upon my angels and guides and God, source energy, vibration, whatever we want to call it. I can call on them for help to keep me grounded, to keep my mood even instead of up and down, to help me get through the day with grace, with poise, with peace, right? We can ask for that. And my goodness, they are so excited to help us when we ask. Like it feels to me energetically like everybody's just standing around waiting for us to ask, so we might as well ask for their help. Anyway, I think that sums it up for today, and I think that this was super fun, and I hope you very much enjoyed this gorgeous background of Hawaii, and that you are feeling the abundance. And if you are not, make sure that you're asking for help, asking for guidance. Jesus, absolutely. He is here to guide us all. Bye for now. Have a fabulous ToesDay Tuesday, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for being here. Bye for now.